Woo, girl.
Okay. Can you see it or?
Woo, girl.
Okay. Can you see it or you can't even see it? You're not going to be able to see it.
No,
Okay.
I can't see it. If I move,
Oh,
it would let me move
it's okay.
it. It'll cut you off.
So he's talking about.
He's talking about that now everybody in Charleston knows not to mess with Mackenzie because he did everything he could legally to get her name cleared or get the rumors taken away.
Okay, so something happened and she got room.
He said, and as it goes on, he's like, I'm not dealing with any of this biracial bull crap either. She's been posting videos of and it was either, I think it was a black boy on the front porch of the house, down there where Mary's got her living in the hood. And they played out this role of killing somebody. It was a role play, and they took a picture of it. It was crazy. So, yeah. So,
what in the hell?
I'm telling you, she's posted all kinds of things that the girls don't need to see. That's why I said.
Why don't I know about any of this? I'm telling you, God willing, I make it through this. The first place I'm going. No, the first thing you're doing is you got to call up Kentucky and get them to get all this stuff dropped because I'm going to South Carolina to get my daughter.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you, that ain't going to happen because they are going to be there. They've already got a hold on you, Neely. They told me.
Well, you, though, can get it dropped.
How can I do that, Neely? I'm not the county attorney.
Yes, you can. You can say.
Stuff is over.
You can say I'm not gonna be a witness, so you have no case. That's what you can say. I've read case law. They're doing recent case law. If they don't have a witness, they have no case. Okay? So, and they have to respect what the other person says. So they have to take what you say into because you are the damn witness.
Well, they have my written statement.
It doesn't matter. They can't use that in a court of law. They have to have a witness.
Well, Neely, all I can say is
you can call and get it handled so I can go up and get my daughter because I don't need to be dealing with anything else.
Either, or you'll be right back in jail.
I'm going to get my daughter. I'm going to get my daughter.
If you don't start doing things legally,
I'm going to, but I'm telling you, I'm going to do it legal, and I'm going to go back to court, but I'm going to get my daughter, and you got to get this stuff handled because I've got to go get Mackenzie.
It's not
period.
That simple, Nene.
This is absolutely crazy.
No, it's
it
not.
It is that simple.
Crazy. You didn't open the door that day when I went down.
No,
that's what's absolutely
crazy.
Mom. That's what's absolutely crazy. Neely, it's absolutely crazy that you made us worry ourselves sick.
But you still just don't get it. You still just don't get it. Yeah, no, you don't.
All you had to do was answer the phone and keep talking to me, and you refused. You didn't talk to anybody and made everybody worry about us. And then you send out that stupid...
You knew where I was, though. You knew where I was.
No. Because your stupid friend lied and said I hadn't seen her in 2 days.
But you knew where I was,
so
Mom.
You back it up.
You knew where I was.
For those children. No.
You
know where you were because your great little friend, your E-Cross friend lied.
At the end of the day, though, Mom. At the end of the day, I'm still their mom.
It don't matter if you're Santa Claus.
It does matter. It does matter. And you were sick. And you didn't want to go. You didn't want to go get a COVID test, and you were sick. They had declared.
I already had a shot.
No, you didn't. They had just declared a national emergency on the 13th.
Okay, that's why you thought nobody was going to come looking for you, because you told me
It doesn't matter, Mom. You put me through something that shouldn't have. You put me through something that you shouldn't have put me through. No parent. No parent would have done that. No parent would have done that. No, they wouldn't have.
Yes.
No, they wouldn't have.
Look at where you
Like I said, Mom. Like I said, Mom.
Do you think you were
Like I said, it's gonna be fine, because either way, if you want to keep the argument though, you're the one keeping it. You're the one keeping it.
You're not taking responsibility for actions. Just like with
because
at
the end of the day, though, at the end of the day, I should be allowed to make decisions pertaining to my children.
If you're sane and acting normal. You weren't acting normal.
I was at a friend's house we were doing everything. There was nothing going on.
Don't even go there. You posted that damn thing to the courthouse, and all these people up here sounding like a nutball about all your crazy rights that you all, those crazies think y'all got.
Okay,
and
Mom.
Where did it get you? She has gotten a video out. She made a video of your conversation and now let it out to somebody.
What are you talking about?
That friend that you thought was so wonderful. Why in the
world
is she even videoing your conversation?
What are you talking about? This recent thing that just happened?
Lady at Dawson Springs. Why was she even videoing your
Are you talking about, because I told her to.
Well, again, that was brilliant.
Mom, listen to me. All I'm gonna say is, listen. All I'm gonna say is, you shouldn't have taken. You though want control. You want to keep control, and you have not let me make decisions pertaining to my children.
I'm your scapegoat. Neely.
Mom.
Look up the
then what was the reason why you didn't let the girls come with me and Robert when he was in the Coast Guard to Washington?
Because you were sitting on the phone all day in the backyard talking to those nutballs, never doing anything.
Why was I talking to them? Because I was trying to get my kids back.
No. You were listening to everybody else's crazy problems instead of
why though?
Your life.
Why?
What you needed to do about it.
Why? Why was I listening to them? Why?
That way. That's why I didn't let them stay. Because you weren't cooking.
You tried to make decisions, Mom. You've never let me be a mom. You haven't let me be a mom. You came after me when all that stuff happened with my first husband. You have had the kids ever since. You've never let me be a mom.
Neely, you got arrested for knocking a kid in the head, okay? So I can't.
And I was found not guilty. I was found not guilty by the judge. That's now a judge right now.
I wasn't gonna let that happen.
Mom.
If you don't take them, you're going to be put in foster care. You think I should have done that? No.
They weren't going to be put in foster care. It wasn't even a DCF case, remember? Because remember the judge said, oh, it's not a DCF case.
This was after all that case, Neely. You go and get in a fight because you're taking those damn pills.
But you never let me. I had to hire an attorney in Kentucky.
Okay, Neely, just like all those dishes.
Mom, whatever, Mom. You don't want to take any responsibility either for anything. No, you don't.
I'm taking care of your children.
Because you wanted to. You wanted to, though, Mom.
Woo, girl.
Okay. Can you see it, or you can't even see it? You're not going to be able to see it.
No,
Okay.
I can't see it. If I move,
Oh,
it would let me move
it's okay.
it. It'll cut you off.
So he's talking about.
He's talking about that now everybody in Charleston knows not to mess with Mackenzie because he did everything he could legally to get her name cleared or get the rumors taken away.
Okay, so something happened and she got room.
He said, and as it goes on, he's like, I'm not dealing with any of this biracial bull crap either. She's been posting videos of and it was I think it was a black boy on the front porch of the house, down there where Mary's got her living in the hood. And they played out this role of killing somebody. It was a role play, and they took a picture of it. It was crazy. So, yeah. So,
what is the hell?
I'm telling you, she's posted all kinds of things that the girls don't need to see. That's why I said.
Why don't I know about any of this? I'm telling you, God willing, I make it through this. The first place I'm going. No, the first thing you're doing is you got to call up Kentucky and get them to get all this stuff dropped because I'm going to South Carolina to get my daughter.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you, that ain't going to happen because they are going to be there. They've already got a hold on you, Neely. They told me.
Well, you, though, can get it dropped.
How can I do that, Neely? I'm not the county attorney.
Yes, you can. You can say.
Stuff is over.
You can say I'm not gonna be a witness, so you have no case. That's what you can say. I've read case law. They're doing recent case law. If they don't have a witness, they have no case. Okay? So, and they have to respect what the other person says. So they have to take what you say into because you are the damn witness.
Well, they have my written statement.
It doesn't matter. They can't use that in a court of law. They have to have a witness.
Well, Neely, all I can say is
you can call and get it handled so I can go up and get my daughter because I don't need to be dealing with anything else.
Either, or you'll be right back in jail.
I'm going to get my daughter. I'm going to get my daughter.
If you don't start doing things legally,
I'm going to, but I'm telling you, I'm going to do it legal, and I'm going to go back to court, but I'm going to get my daughter, and you got to get this stuff handled because I've got to go get Mackenzie.
It's not
period.
That simple, Nina.
This is absolutely crazy.
No, it's not.
It is that simple.
Crazy. You didn't open the door that day when I went down.
No,
that's what's absolutely
crazy.
Mom. That's what's absolutely crazy. Neely, it's absolutely crazy that you made us worry ourselves sick.
But you still just don't get it. You still just don't get it. Yeah, no, you don't.
All you had to do was answer the phone and keep talking to me, and you refused. You didn't talk to anybody and made everybody worry about us. And then you send out that stupid...
You knew where I was, though. You knew where I was.
No. Because your stupid friend lied and said I hadn't seen her in 2 days.
But you knew where I was,
so
Mom.
You back it up.
You knew where I was.
For those children. No.
We
don't know where you were because your great little friend, your E-Class friend lied.
At the end of the day, though, Mom. At the end of the day, I'm still their mom.
It don't matter if you're Santa Claus.
It does matter. It does matter. And you were sick. And you didn't want to go. You didn't want to go get a COVID test, and you were sick. They had to clear.
I already had a shot. I had all.
No, you didn't. They had just declared a national emergency on the 13th.
Okay, that's why you thought nobody was going to come looking for you, because you told me 1,000.
It doesn't matter, Mom. You put me through something that shouldn't have. You put me through something that you shouldn't have put me through. No parent. No parent would have done that. No parent would have done that. No, they wouldn't have. No, they wouldn't have.
Look at where you
Like I said, Mom. Like I said, it's gonna be fine, because either way, if you want to keep the argument, though, you're the one keeping it. You're the one keeping it.
You're not taking responsibility for actions. Just like
because
at
the end of the day, though, at the end of the day, I should be allowed to make decisions pertaining to my children.
If you're sane and acting normal. You weren't acting normal.
I was at a friend's house we were doing everything. There was nothing going on.
Don't even go there. You posted that damn thing to the courthouse, and all these people up here sounding like a nutball about all your crazy rights that you all, those crazies think y'all got.
Okay,
and
Mom.
Where did it get you? She has gotten a video out. She made a video of your conversation and now let it out to somebody.
What are you talking about?
That friend that you thought was so wonderful. Why in the
world
is she even videoing your conversation?
What are you talking about? This recent thing that just happened?
Lady at Dawson Springs. Why was she even videoing your
Are you talking about, because I told her to.
Well, again, that was brilliant.
Mom, listen to me. All I'm gonna say is, listen. All I'm gonna say is, you shouldn't have taken. You though want control. You want to keep control, and you have not let me make decisions pertaining to my children.
I'm your scapegoat. Neely.
Mom.
Look up the
then what was the reason why you didn't let the girls come with me and Robert when he was in the Coast Guard to Washington?
Because you were sitting on the phone all day in the backyard talking to those nutballs, never doing anything.
Why was I talking to them? Because I was trying to get my kids back.
No. You were listening to everybody else's crazy problems instead of
why though?
Your life.
Why?
What you needed to do about it.
Why? Why was I listening to them? Why?
That way.
That's
why I didn't let them stay. Because you weren't cooking.
You tried to make decisions, Mom. You've never let me be a mom. You haven't let me be a mom. You came after me when all that stuff happened with my first husband. You have had the kids ever since. You've never let me be a mom.
Neely, you got arrested for knocking a kid in the head, okay? So I can't.
And I was found not guilty. I was found not guilty by the judge. That's now a judge right now.
Mom, if you don't take them, you're going to be put in foster care. You think I should have done that? No.
They weren't going to be put in foster care. It wasn't even a DCF case, remember? Because remember, the judge said, oh, it's not a DCF case.
This was after all that case, Neely. You go and get in a fight because you're taking those damn pills.
But you never let me. I had to hire an attorney in Kentucky.
Okay, Neely, just like all those dishes.
Mom, whatever, Mom. You don't want to take any responsibility either for anything. No, you don't.
I'm taking care of your children.
Because you wanted to. You wanted to, though, Mom.
Well, that was interesting. I don't know if my audio is working or not. But all I adjust. Whoop. All right, let me remove that. Put this up. Okay. Um, I gotta check, see if audio. Are we working? Yes, we are working. Yeah, very unprofessional of me, I know. But the software has been acting screwy today, so I wanted to make sure that everything was going okay. Now, before I get into the next phone call, which is just as, shall we say, interesting, um, this is part of the new discovery. This is, as soon as I add it, um, see if I can bring this up because I'm supposed. There we go. Let me see where I got to run through my slides here. Here we go. All right, this is the um, formal indictment of her. And why does this keep doing this? I got me back on here again when I wanted the screen share, and this thing came back up. Let me go. Uh, I got to figure out why I switched over to. There we go. Now, let's see. Darn it. That's weird. Because I go over to layers to put up the indictment, and when I do, it shuts off um, my thing. I'm trying to figure out what's going on here. All right, I'm going to have to do it this way. I'm not going to be able to see any comments when I switch this over because for some reason it's not allowing me to do what I want to do. And I got to adjust this before I bring it up. This is being. I'm still getting used to the software. All right, I don't know if I'm working or not here. I rebooted this, um, and it wiped everything out except if I get it back over to comments, because it's as I expected when I did this. I knocked all my settings off, but the reboot works, so I guess that's the. I've been getting all kinds of error messages tonight. Technically, EV is not software. It's one of these services where you uh, go into a website, use their software that's on their machine, and then it gets retransmitted over to YouTube. And in the process, somehow my audio got knocked off. And so I'm going to get the, it doesn't let me. Okay. And now let me take me out of the seat. Well, no, I can't do that. Let me turn the camera off. Nope. Ugh, this is okay. Let me do this. I'm making an adjustment on my console here, folks. So bear with me. Okay. Now, hopefully, this straighten this thing out. I'm not sure what's going on with this. I well, I suppose I could. I'm going to have to look into something. But this is the same as StreamYard, which I quit using for the same reason. The only problem is I paid for this thing for a year, so I'm kind of stuck with it. But I'll give Google a try for the other channel while I work the bugs out of this, because this is the first time it's ever froze up like that. But I think the problem is it's something that's overly popular and everybody else is using it. So excuse me. So anyway, this is the incident report, and basically it outlines that he came to the house, observed um, him on the ground, and Neely was identified as the apparent defendant or person of interest, suspect, whatever you want to call it. And then we get into the details of what the affiant found on here. And he had one apparent gunshot wound to his right shoulder back, and then the bulk of the um, wounds were to his head. So she basically fired once at least, the gun jammed, and then she uh, finished him off, which was basically an execution, which is what is in this part here. Now, this is, the grand jury looked at all the evidence, which is, more than what I've shown you folks. There's pictures of the crime scene. There's an autopsy picture of him on the floor of the house. And so this was part of the paperwork filed with the court um, to justify her being held in. And what they did is this is a repeat because there were two witnesses, and so they filed a report for each witness. I would have to order more. Um, I would have to order more discovery from Marion County to get into the chain of custody, and I will be looking into doing that at a future time because this takes, first of all, it takes time to get these files from the uh, state attorney's office. And this gets into the booking of where she was arrested. Because she was rearrested and booked on the 14th of December. Because again, she was already in the jail. And no bond. And this is where she signed that she had received this paperwork. And this charge here is under the statute of the state of Florida uh, qualified for the death penalty. And what they're trying to do, the defense's strategy to date has been innocent by reason of temporary insanity, which is um, a long shot at best. And it has Robert Petrie as her husband. Now, I believe since the public defender was assigned, that she has retained a private attorney. Um, and this is a top defense attorney in the state of Florida. And right now he is um, a defendant or a defense in a trial over in Tampa, Florida, Tampa, St. Petersburg. And we have another probable cause affidavit. And what happens is each deputy that investigates the case writes out their own report. And so that's what's happened here. And this is basically going to be the same thing over and over again when it comes to well, uh, the question has been so far is whose gun is it? And it's either one of two situations. Either she went and purchased the gun in Ocala, or it is her husband's gun. Um, and that is the husband, when they were detained in Georgia identified the gun uh, as exactly what appeared in the report um, regarding the make and serial number and everything of the gun, as I have provided or as I have prevented in prior uh, videos. I have done a video of the gun um, that gives a thorough description of the gun, and it also shows uh, blood on various parts of the firearm. Now, I do have pictures of the crime scene, and why I have not posted them right now is because there's a great deal of blood. The Chris Hallett's body is not in any of the shots, but I don't know what YouTube's rules are regarding crime scenes, and until I get clarification, I'm withholding the crime scene videos right now. I might be able to put up some that don't show all of the blood on the floor, um, and that may give some clarity as to what it is. But the photographs that I do have, because when I saw this, I requested them, is everything you see listed here. Uh, Photographs and video of interior and exterior of the building, the shell casings, the live rounds, the projectiles, uh, documents regarding the ownership of the house, uh, DNA processing of the interior of the residence, and black semi automatic pistols. And this apparently is the officer that went in and personally inspected the crime scene. And this is a search warrant. And the ownership did come back to his mother. And she stated in interviews that I put up in the past that she owns the house. This is more or less a repeat of the other um, descriptions that have been here, as each officer has to fill one of these out. And in the course of my discovery request, they sent me all of these. And this gets into fingerprint, lift cords, DNA swabs, so on and so forth. Okay, this looks like what was requested earlier. Um, this is all of the evidence that they took. Keys to the car, one pair of sandals, pants, bra, shirt, floor mat again, fingerprint lift cards, DNA free fingerprint brush used to process, laptop computer, iPad, shirt, We the People hat, Samsung cell phone. And this is just all, you know, okay, 9 millimeter Luger shell casings. Uh, so they're identifying the brand of the bullets at least as Lugers. Pair of flip flops, t shirt. They took her clothes away from her and they put her in the jumpsuit at the county jail. They took hair samples for DNA. Okay, one 9 millimeter firearm, ZCP 10 serial number with suspect blood magazine removed from the firearm. So there is the specific gun. I had seen that somewhere, and you're quite welcome. Um, but this is how thorough they are when keeping records of an investigation. Okay, and this is going to be another officer reporting on the incident. And I believe this is giving a witness, and under Florida law, the witnesses' names and the name of the victim are redacted. And age 73, that's more than likely the mother. Um, this is all. I'm not sure who Miss Webb is, but she lives in St. Petersburg. This is Jamie Grubbs. And this is Kathy Watson. And these are witnesses that are either going to be deposed or already have been. This is part of the witness list. And then we're getting into. Let me go back and reread that. Um, No. Okay, so she's listed as a witness. Because she did, Kathy Watson had a spy pen, and I played the contents of that in the past. And that's also, that subject is going to come up in the next audio. And again, there's the uh, specific um, description of the firearm. And she apparently took the gun with her, and they found it in the glove box. And we have a thumb drive, more evidence. Thumb drive containing victim phone extraction. So they must have. Then we get into DNA swab, more DNA swabs, miscellaneous, clothing, more clothing, uh, more clothing and a fur, shoes, flip flop, DVD, projectile on floor, 9mm Luger live rounds, some floor. Let's see what this one is. Shell casing, documents from tall trash can on wall of living room, blood, more swabs, another blood swab. Took a saliva from Pepsi can on desk. Ooh, I drink Pepsi. Uh-oh. Forgot to take the Pepsi can. Swab from unknown substance on floor. More blood. Refrigerator. Trash can again. Drug paraphernalia, grinder and rolling papers from desk and living room. That means somebody was a pothead. And of course, they found marijuana. That's probably his. I'm not sure at that time if pot was legal in the state of Florida. And I think there's a problem with personal use still in the state of Florida. I'm not sure. But green leafy substance from desk and living room, pot. Drug paraphernalia, green leafy substance. Manila postage envelope from the desk on E-wall. Document evidence, probably some of his legal crap. Lime green folder with paperwork from bookcase. So they took everything out of there. Documents, black purse with contents from floor of bathroom, DNA swabs again, multicolored face mask from black purse. I wonder what kind of a mask that was. Yeah, Neely was taking either medication or abusing medication, one or the other. Oh, we've got fingerprints. I know I got a bunch of this because they listed every single thing that they took out of that house and out of the Ford Escape. Black Ford pouch. That's usually the owner's manual. Body armor, sportswear, water bottle. Saliva swab. Samsung cell phone. That's Neely's more than likely. Took DNA swab off the cell phone. A hat she's known to have worn. Black shirt she's known to have worn. Has that Jesus Christ on it. Got an iPad, life-proof case, computer equipment, HP laptop on rear passenger seat, containing this is some of the documents that she had apparently. See, it's going to be a mixture of evidence from the Ford Escape and evidence from the house. Fingerprint card. Floor mat again. Another floor mat. T-shirt. Bra. Pair of pants. Pair of sandals. Evidence forms. Keys to Ford Escape. And this is the deputy that walked around the outside of the building. I don't know if he ever went in. This is more. This is each of the officers that wore um, body armor. This is 72 pages long, and we're about a third of the way through it. More than just under 30. There we go. Yeah, they after contacting Field's mother, they did contact the son, if you remember from the recording that I uploaded about the discussions they had with the mother the night of the murder. Yeah, in here it's basically uh, telling everything they found at the house. All right, I don't know why I'm getting a call this time of night. Hello? Hello? Hmm. Not sure who that was. Somebody called me on a private number and it didn't go through. Hmm? Ah, this travesty challenge doesn't like my hat. Oh well, stupid is. All right, as I continue, we got more crime scene evidence. Oh, I'm being threatened with a video coming out, so stay tuned for that. This particular troll that's coming up on my other phone has been threatening me all day, and I made a post about it on Twitter. And she wants me to take off my faithful hat. She doesn't like my faithful hat. Isn't that interesting? And let's see. This is interesting. Boy, that certainly isn't my video because it's 2,000 times. I wonder whose video this was. I think this was the YouTube video that's supposed to be coming in evidence. Let's see if I can find that. Let me drop this down a minute. because it's supposed to be in the Discovery, and I have not seen it yet. So I'm gonna. Oh, this is a video by Miko Hayes. Interesting. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in the. Miko's name is gonna come up in a little bit, so stay tuned for that one. But this was, boy, this is a 2 hour long video, and this explains why it's taken so long to download. Um, but if you go to Miko Hayes's uh, YouTube channel, it's Neely Blanchard arrested for murder of Chris Hallett. And so you can go over there and watch that when you've got 2.5 hours. And it's going to wind up in my Discovery because they said that they had a YouTube video that was in the Discovery that I ordered. And so that was it. So now I got to find the darn. Okay. All right. I knew I messed up doing that. I gotta figure out where the file on this might be it. Yeah, here we go. All right. So anyway, you got to see that. So that was Miko Hayes. And this is a iPhone. And this is the gun again. Or no, this is an LG phone. And got more stuff here. And the troll just sent me a picture of underwear. Well, we can pretty well figure out who that is. But I guess, sending people's pictures of people's underwear is more important than what's going on in the murder case. It tells you where the priorities of these people are. Jeez, so sad. This person seems to think that posting pictures of underwear make it a sleuthing expert. Stalker would be more like it. I mean, any idiot can go on a public website and find pictures. People have strange priorities. But that's the way it goes. Let's see. This is where we have officers. Um, each officer has to provide a report, even so. That's why some of this is the same information. Now, since this is recorded, if you want to go back and more thoroughly read these, you can go through and, freeze these documents at any time. Now, these are, the description here is of the audio tapes that I had posted about the interviews that law enforcement did with Neely while she was still in Georgia. There's a little bit of um, chain of custody description there that was asked for earlier. A bullet hole through his back, right shoulder, and 2 injuries to the back of his head. Yeah, you're quite correct. Who the hell is Cynthia Ruff? Oh, yeah, they worked all night. They actually had shifts set up to where they worked through the night, and then a day shift deputies came in and they worked 24 hours until they completed the investigation of the residents. And that's what all this is each officer reporting while they're on scene what they found and what they did. And they keep saying the marriage of Neely to her husband is a marriage of convenience. Oh, so Cynthia Ruff was apparently another client for E-Clause. And the black purse apparently was Neely's, according to this report. This is a report on the photo lineup, as well as other things. So it's going to be repeat stuff. Well, according to this inmate, Neely bragged about hiring a hitman to kill a judge. Again, they're getting into a description of the gun. Okay, the Marriott courtyard that they stayed at is quite close to the house and also on just off of I-75 in Ocala. So apparently she was at the courtyard prior to going down to the house and maybe for a little while after. Now, the Haynesbrook Publix is on the other side of 75 and about 10 miles from the house. Well, she did think that Chris Allen was helping her until she came to the realization that he was doing no such thing. And the question has been, when did she change her mind and what caused her to change her mind? Who was it or what was it that caused Neely Blanchard to conclude that not only was Chris Hallett not helping her get her child back, but she had also been deceived in that Chris Hallett was alleged to be working against her getting her children or child back. Okay, so this says Paul Ronald Knowles is claiming that he got nearly pregnant. And Kirky shows up in this report. This is Jamie Grubbs. And I was later informed that Jamie Grubbs is not an employee of the United States Marshal's Office. Hmm. Well, that is the $1 million question is what caused Neely Blanchard to conclude that caused Neely Blanchard to think that Chris Hallett was no longer helping her and that he was in fact working against her getting her children back. Okay, this here, Deputy Marshal offered Miss Groans on a three-way call to allow me to hear the conversation. I will be playing this call after I'm done with this scrolling of the documentation here. It's just not long from now. The recordings that are on the pen I have put up, somebody dabbles in witchcraft. I wonder who that could be. That's a good question, Rebecca. I don't know because people going around impersonating law enforcement. I think it goes down to if she does not go out and try and arrest somebody, that she can get away with it. I don't know, but you read and see videos all the time about people impersonating law enforcement and people pretending to be part of a Pentagon task force. But what are you going to do? Yes, I do. That's going to be the next video, or it's going to be an audio that I'm going to put up right after this, uh, and within the next 10 minutes or so. If I'm scrolling fast, folks, you can always go back through and just stop at any place that you want to read. That's basically as a timeline of all the investigating that had been going on and some of the things that were uh, stated. This is the mother and daughter consent. I also have audio versions of this, and I may put them up either tomorrow or sometime later in the week. This is all the paperwork that Tim Holmseth claimed was stolen. All the secret stuff. Doesn't look stolen to me. It looks like evidence. So he wanted the information out. Here it is. They did a lot of redacting here, hence all the black. Uh, this goes on and on and on and on. It's going to take longer than I thought. I don't know how much. This gets into the 2014 custody case and so forth. Yeah, these are public records. This all has to do with matters in Kentucky, I believe. Well, Eve, remember that she is in charge in kidnapping in the state of Kentucky, which is what the phone call was about between her and her mother tonight. Um, and if by some chance she were to get released from prison, she would immediately be picked up by the state of Kentucky to answer the charges up there of kidnapping. Okay, more redacted material. This is very hard to read. I can't even begin to read that one. A lot of these, they um, just took the pictures and didn't, without any regard for quality. And a lot of this stuff is photocopied, which they have a habit of doing rather than just direct copies of the materials photographically. But these were everything of hers that were found. It's hard to make out what these pictures are supposed to be about. This is something like a time card. And this is the Marriott in Ocala, the information on her room. Apparently, she had um, all these receipts kept. This is Chris Hallett's battle over his child support problems. And this is this right wing sovereign citizen crap that these people are all involved with. And none of this is applicable. I've talked to dozens of people in the legal profession that says this stuff is sheer nonsense. And this even includes defense attorneys that would normally get involved on behalf of Chris Hallett in these kind of matters. And they said this is all nonsense. More redacted stuff. They do a lot of redacting. That's one of the reasons this took so long for me to get these records. More of this sovereign citizen nonsense. Oh god, it's gonna take forever to get through this. There's a lot of stuff here. Because what they did is they took pictures of all of Chris Hallett's stuff, and this is part of the discovery evidence. This is just the tip of the iceberg. There's several thousand pages of discovery. And this is just a small portion of what I have. Uh, Rebecca, I don't know at this point. I haven't heard from anybody that intends on covering the case live. I don't know if the uh, court is going to allow a pool camera in the court itself. That is something I'm waiting to hear about, and they don't expect to set up the rules until late October or the beginning of November. The jury selection is scheduled to start the last week of November, and so this could start in November or it could even start in December. I won't know for sure until we get closer to the hearing or to the trial date. I feel sorry for anybody that had to read through all of this because he's like going on and on and on and on. My. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I am able to do this.
All right, this is Detective Otto with the Marion County Sheriff's Office, back on case number 200222999. It is December 1st, 2020 at 3:31 p.m. I have a three-way phone call between myself, Deputy U.S. Marshal Zachary Self, and Kathy Watson at the phone number of 615-752-0078. And I have my recorder on, and my phone is on speaker.
Watson? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I just came in the house. I got a tin roof, so it kind of,
I understand. I used to have a tin roof when I was growing up. I grew up in Alabama.
Yeah.
Well, my name is Deputy Zach Self. I'm with U.S. Marshal Service down here in Tampa, Florida. Mm-hmm. I have received a call from a detective up around Ocala in Marion County with the Sheriff's Office. I've been dealing with him on other issues, and he briefly told me kind of the conversation that you guys had about you only wanted to deal with U.S. Marshals and not local law enforcement. And I get that. That's happened before, and that's something that I'm familiar with. He was telling me about that there's a recording that involves Neely.
It's a confession. Right. It's a confession. And I didn't have the recorder on my phone when she called me. I got this spy pen because, I'm kind of like I'm a inspector myself or an investigator or whatever, because, I fight against the wrong and stuff like that. That's who I am, and I'm an ordained minister, and the truth needs to be told.
Oh, well, I think we're in agreement on that one.
So,
well, let me ask you this. Would you be willing to turn over that recording?
Well,
let us get a copy of it?
Yeah, because it's a confession.
Yes, ma'am. When you say it's a confession, do you recall what it was that she said, how she said it?
Well, she was telling me the date, and I looked at the time when she called, because it didn't really sound like Neely, and I thought, well, what's going on? And she told me that been shot, and I said, well,
when you say it didn't sound like her, it physically sounded like her, just that something sounded like something was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was just I was numb. I mean, it was the week of the anniversary of my own father being shot in a hunting accident. Okay, so it was kind of flashbacks for me. Okay, and it took a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I don't care to go to Paducah, to the U.S. Marshals there, and let them get this to you, because, like I said, it's on a pin, and I didn't want to mess it up by trying to put it in my computer, and it being erased.
Yes, ma'am.
So I do know, because I wasn't for sure if I'd got it, because I didn't know whether the pin was charged, enough to get what she was saying. So I listened the other day to see, after I read the instructions, because I don't, I don't really get to that much. So, to see if it was on there. And it was.
It's still there.
Yeah, it's on there. So.
Do you remember what words she used? Or if it'd be easier, if you wanna play it, I could probably hear it over the phone.
Well, now I have recorded a few people before, so it's kind of like I didn't really know how to use it.
Sure.
And it's got this thing you have to hook into it, and it's a little like a recorder, only it's got a forward, backward, a pause, a play, whatever. And I was afraid I'd erase it. So actually, I didn't know how to operate it, but I did operate it enough to get the recording. Okay.
Okay. And you've heard it. You've heard it on playback.
Yes, I heard it on playback.
Okay.
But I am afraid to mess with it. I mean, I've got the instructions, and to be honest with you, it's important for the investigation, and
Absolutely.
I would just like to get it where it needs to be, by or whatever, and them help me get it downloaded on their computer to where they got the copy of it, instead of me trying to and mess it up. Okay.
Right.
I mean,
right.
I don't want to mess it up, because it is important for y'all guys to have this.
It is.
And then,
how long of a recording is it?
Well, I don't know. I don't know.
5 minutes, 20 minutes.
I would hate to guesstimate it.
Okay. Well, it's nothing that I would hold
Like
you
I
to.
said,
I'm just trying to get an idea of how big the file is.
Right. I was just kind of numb and stuff, and I just didn't pay no attention to that. And I didn't put it on my computer to see how long it was,
Okay.
I just, I was just numb. But anyway, there's.
How do you know Neely?
How do I know Neely? I know her through the Family Forward groups.
Okay.
With Connie regularly, and I met her down there in Georgia at the Nancy Schaefer Memorial, and over at John Gentry's at Tennessee. He's running for senator or something this time, but we all kind of got together there, and, because there's a lot of people that has been wronged by the system, and their children being taken with fabricated documentation to take them, and we just kind of met, I guess, online, and then we kind of met at other people's houses, and she was surprised to see me, so I just kind of took her under my wing like my daughter, and we've prayed together, and the kidnapping charges that was here a while back, that was fabricated. I was here.
Oh, wow.
good of that by her own mother, and she's narcissistic. Her sister, you know, is kind of like a hand in that. But anyway, yeah, she has been through it, I want to tell you, and she's a victim of a very bad scheme of things.
Okay.
I mean, you know, and she's just searching for the truth. And evidently she found it and something happened. But she thought somebody that she trusted dearly had been extorting her and was harming her and her kids. So, you know, that's my take on it. I was just Lord, because, you know, I love her too.
Okay.
And I would never thought.
Did she say that she shot him?
She just said been shot. I don't really know exactly what the you know, the thing said. I was afraid that it would erase it, and I know it would have been needed whenever investigation or, you know, anybody called me, because like I said, I didn't want to erase it because I knew it was very important, and I was hoping it was on there. So I heard the playback, and it is there.
Okay.
So I don't say in my words what she said and it be wrong.
Okay.
You know. I'm not about that, but I do know was in the house. Okay. By what I gathered, her daughter.
Okay. When it happened?
Evidently, she was in the back room or something. I don't know. Didn't want Neely there, come to find out. But anyway, and there's video on that. But Monday, after the fact that this had happened, I hadn't heard in a long time.
Okay.
And she sends me a text message to keep your mouth shut. I'm like, you know, I haven't said anything.
Do you?
I haven't said nothing to nobody.
Do you still have that? You still have that text?
Yes, sure I do.
All right, definitely keep that. Definitely keep that.
Yeah. And you know, I said, you know, I've been helping. You know, I got a disabled aunt I rescued from a nursing home that was trying to kill her 4 times. So, you know, I was getting ready for a heart doctor appointment, and she said that she'd in this text. She said she'd heard my name saying alive. I said, well, I haven't talked to anybody.
Okay.
You know, in a live or you know, I don't do lives. I did that for Neely that time, you know. They come in and got her and the kids here, but they were in and out, and her mama knew they were here because she had to go open up a liquor store. I mean, that was a falsified report of kidnapping I ever heard in my life.
Okay.
On Neely, but her mom, you know, I guess stand to lose some money. But, you know, that in itself is another investigation. Somebody needs to get straight. Because the woman, she pretended to be sick about the time all this COVID come out, and then, you know, I was giving my aunt a bath, and somebody's beating on my door, and, you know, my aunt needs 24/7 care. Then somebody's beating on my back door, so I come and see this woman acting like, and this was Neely's mom, acting hysterical at my back door, and they wasn't here. She was saying, Neely there, I know they left. They'd come and go as they pleased, you know. She was just staying here, and her mom knew they were here, you know, having a campfire and stuff. And I'm like, what in the world? So anyway, but yeah, I would rather take this recording. I mean, you know, to marshals down there at Paducah, or if there's marshals somewhere that we can put this recording on, you know, somebody that knows what they're doing.
Right.
Bring the instructions with me, so it won't get erased.
Right.
But,
so
you know,
you say you're close to Paducah. How close are you to Paducah?
About 45 minutes away.
Okay.
45 minutes, yeah.
All right. Let's see. Have you ever been to that courthouse before? I know it's a pretty good ways off.
The courthouse in Paducah?
Yes, ma'am. It's small. It's small. I was there about a couple of months ago.
Yeah, when I took, I'm like Ellie Mae, I take in all kinds of strays, but anyway, I had my husband, and she was like, you know, she was into drugs and alcohol and stuff, and I was trying to get her off of that because I lived on a farm in Tennessee at the time. But anyway, she and got drunk and got thrown in jail. So yeah, I've been in that area of that. Yeah, where the courthouse is.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to reach out to those guys, and before I'd ask you to go over there, I'd make sure that they were available and be expected.
Right.
Because I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste their time either. So, do you have anything other than that? I mean, you just dealing with that.
I have the papers that Neely had took snapshots of what they were working on as far as, I guess, a remonstrance. Now, Trista Brewer has got documentation because, see, Neely didn't keep all her eggs in one basket because of the simple fact she'd been fighting for her children, and, you know, and there's roadblocks everywhere, which way she turned, and nobody had helped her, and they more or less hurt her than helped her. So, you know, she trusted the one she trusted with her information. You know, that's who she gave her information to make sure if something was to happen to her, they would have it.
That people would know about it. Okay.
Right. Yeah. And Teresa, you know, Brewer, she lives over there in Missouri. Now, she's a journalist, and she wrote an expose on Trump before he ever got to be president.
Okay.
So, you know, she was an entertainer and wrote a lot of columns and stuff, you know. But she's got a lot of her documentation also.
Do you know of anyone else that Neely may have called about this?
Well, I know she gave me this Grubbs, last name Grubbs, Jamie Lynn Grubbs number. And I think, let's see, and Grover. Girls, let's see, Grover. I wrote down a bunch of stuff. Let me see. There's been all kinds of freaking Inspector Gadgets doing lives on this. I think they've got all their judge, jury, and executioner just making a big circus out of it. It's not right. But anyway, Melissa Grover.
Okay.
He's got realtor at gmail.com. Let's see. And that Grubbs lady or whatever. Now, see, those two are the only one that knows that I've got a recording.
Who's that? Neely and the Grubbs person?
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
so,
you know, I've seen her making comments on one of these lives, you know, that's trying to figure it all out, too.
Okay. When you say she's making comments, what do you mean? Where can you see she's making
comments in these live shows that, like, The Watchman and the Miko Hayes with the on YouTube discuss. And all, you know, there's just in some kind of Murtathon or something guy. I mean, you know, I think
so she referenced.
Did what?
Kathy referenced this murder on a show. It's on YouTube.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
I didn't reference. I just said they're talking about it.
Oh, I'm sorry, not Kathy, not you. I'm so sorry. I got these names. You mean the Grubbs person, the Melissa Grubbs?
Yeah, she was in the comment section, and I seen where she was making comments in The Watchman. It's called The Watchman with Randy Davis over there in North Carolina. And they've got a bunch of these Neely videos. And then they've got, you know, the Miko Hayes. He's got a video on there with the doing a memorial on. And I watched it, and I'm like, oh my God, she's into witchcraft, okay?
Oh my God.
There's another guy that's in Michigan that called me and told me about what she was trying to get him to do. And then, you know, on the Watchman video on the YouTube, this man calls in that had at his place, and they had this fire built or whatever, and talked about how her face looked distorted and stuff like that, some kind of demonic looking figure or something. And yeah, I'm telling you, this ain't good.
Yeah, this is kind of out there.
It is out there. But these people are doing is, they're pretending to be judge, jury, and executioner. And Neely needs due process. This child has been a victim to a lot of states.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Let me ask you this: if I give you my U.S. Marshal email address, would you be able to take screenshots or send me copies of those letters, forms, whatever it is she sent to you? Maybe take a screenshot of the call records of the date and time where she may have called you, or the text where told you to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. All right. Can you write down my email address?
Sure. Okay.
All right. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
All right. It's Zachary. That's ZACH.
ZAC.
Yeah. HARY.
ARY.
.self. SELF, like myself.
SELF.
At US DOJ, like Department of Justice.
US DOJ.
Yep. .gov. .gov.
gov.gov.
Yeah, don't be passing that around, please.
DOG, you say?
DOJ, like
DOJ.
US Department of Justice.
Okay.
.gov. .gov, like .gov.
Okay.
All right. Don't be passing my email address around.
Oh, I won't.
I get enough emails as it is.
Right, I understand. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, if you could send those to me, that would help.
DOJ, and you're a U.S.
Well, I'm a U.S. Marshal. I'm a U.S. Marshal here in Tampa, Florida, out of the Middle District. So all of this that's happened up in Ocala, Marion County area, and that falls under our district. Ocala is one of our sub offices. That's how I've now been involved in this. So yeah, I'll have to reach out to the Paducah office. Before I ask you to take that up there, though, I'll make sure to reach out to them. I'll reach back out to you to make sure you're available and pick out a date and time that's good for you.
Okay, great. Yeah, because my aunt, she has problems with the diarrhea and stuff, and sometimes I have to give her 2 showers. I'll just put it that way.
Oh, wow. Oh, poor thing. All right. Yeah, I wish you knew how to play that thing back. I'd love to listen to it, because before I'd waste your time, it'd be great if I knew what was on there before I had you do all that.
Right, but what's on there that y'all need for this, and it's very important that you get it. But I was afraid that I would erase it.
Yeah, I don't want you doing that.
Right, and I want somebody that, and I got the instructions on how you can download it, or you can get it downloaded on your computer or their computer to get to you.
Absolutely.
That would, because I just didn't need it erased, because I knew it would be important.
Absolutely. I got to tell you, I'm a little intrigued when you say I might have been there when it happened.
What?
You said was possibly there at the house or wherever it was that he was shot when it happened, right?
She was in the back room, according to what Neely said, because I said, well, where, and her daughter, and she said in the back room, doped up. She can't even function, and her daughter's a cutter.
Right.
So I don't know what was going on there.
Okay.
But then, I haven't talked, like I said, in months. And then on Monday, she sends me this message: "Keep your mouth shut." I'm like,
yeah. All right. If you've still got that, please screenshot that. Screenshot that and send that to me as well, because that'll have a date and time. That'll corroborate everything.
Right. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Well, Kathy, if I have any more questions, would you mind if I reach back out to you? I mean, I may not, or maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. But I'll try to.
I'll save this number on my phone, so I know.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. That's my work number. You can call that.
Okay.
All right. And if you can't figure out how to email that stuff, if you just want to text it to this number, you can do that as well.
Okay. But that might be a lot easier. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That'll be fine. Thank you for talking with me, and thank you for
Kathy,
helping.
thank you. And like I said, I'll reach out to that Paducah office, and we'll see if we can start getting that ball rolling.
Okay. All right.
All right. All right. Thank you, Jackie.
Appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. Bye.
Bye.
All right, that concludes the interview. The time is now 3:53.
Okay, let me get rid of this. And I'll continue on. And get back into comments. So that is that. Um, I hadn't planned on playing both of these tonight, but it is what it is. So that gets that part. I'm going to go through the discovery and see if there's anything else to put up. I do have other matters on the burner that I want to present to you folks. Um, but um, as we go down through, um, there is someone watching in the room, and it's the very same troll that posted a threat to me that is over on um, Twitter. She told me not to post about her on Twitter or it or whatever because I have no idea who this person is. But she writes the following: do you like Neely? And I am neutral on Neely. I don't dislike Neely. I have a problem with the fact that she allegedly, at this point, murdered someone. You don't do that. Uh, and now she has to go to trial, and a jury will decide whether or not she committed the crime or she's innocent by reason of insanity or what have you. And as always, she is under the presumptions of innocent until proven guilty in a court of law before a jury of her peers. Now, I have made this clear before. And she doesn't like Rebecca Ann, calls her a freaking sicko. And then she says, tell Rebecca it doesn't need to be televised. She wants to tape a jury, evil Rebecca. Well, I got news for Travesty Challenge. The judge will decide whether or not the trial will be televised. It will be up to the court whether or not it's televised. It will be up to the state attorneys to file a motion to forbid live streaming or coverage of the trial. And so it's not going to be decided by anybody in this room. In this travesty challenge, rather than make the statement in the room itself, decides to PM me on Telegram. But, Travesty has this weird obsession with me and Live Page and makes these threats to put damaging material on BitChute, which, that's typical. I mean, that's what Holmseth has been doing for 14 years, is lying about people. So I guess Travesty wants to do that. And, this is interesting. She just posted, so she knows. She says, tell Rebecca I am coming for her. So now we have a threat against Rebecca, whose only crime is to offer a question or, um, you know, exercising their First Amendment rights. These people um, don't support the First Amendment. And travesty is right there on the top of the list. And she's talking about underwear again. She switches from threatening people to talking about people walking around in their underwear. And I don't understand where the relevance is in all this. But this is the sick obsession that these people have. And so, this is just the crazies that surround Tim Holmseth. And it's just, don't understand it, but that's what that's what we have to deal with on a daily basis. So, this is basically all the evidence that law enforcement gathered of Chris Hallett's various filings and Neely Blanchard's filings and so forth. Now, the remarkable thing is that I had a discussion with the state attorney and the individual that's been preparing this material for me, and she said that by broadcasting this material, I am not tainting any jury. This is public information, and it's known that a large number of media outlets have not only this discovery, but discovery that I have not requested yet. And this is a channel right now that only has 14 people on it. So I doubt that any member of any jury anywhere is going to see this material, except in a court of law. And you are instructed as a juror to disregard anything that you've heard from the outside world in deliberation of this case. You are only supposed to deliberate on the evidence as presented in court and nowhere else. And so this nonsense of tainting the jury is something that's been argued in most cases since the policy of allowing cameras in the courtroom started. They look for any excuse to keep the public from hearing information. If this were the case, then Tim Holmseth and his handmaidens are tainting a potential jury and the stuff that he's putting on the internet. It's, he's as much of a blabbermouth as anybody. And so this hater that keeps monitoring my channel and sending me these goofy private messages doesn't know her ass from the hole in the ground. And she just likes to stalk people and cause trouble simply because people have an opinion that doesn't agree with her or him or it. I had no idea. This person is too much of a coward to put their real name up. They hide behind these secret usernames and she changes her username every time I turn around. I think she's put up about 30 or 40 of them over the past 14 years. Oh boy, she's real. Rebecca, I am going to send you these in private. you may need to report these to your law enforcement because she's making some pretty violent threats. Too late. I've already copied it. You can sit there and delete all you want, but I went ahead and took a screenshot the minute you put that up, you little coward. Yeah, you sit there and you post this stuff and then you delete it. But I screenshot it the second you make it, so I've got the screenshot. And I'm going to send it to Rebecca so that she can decide what she wants to do with it. You you must be really afraid of the legal ramifications because you're deleting this stuff as fast as you post it. Well, if that's the case, why did you erase all your messages? What are you scared of? You know, it's too late. I've already screenshotted your stuff. You know, think before you post, Missy. You can, you know, if you're going to make threats and back up your threats by telling everybody who you are, but you're scared to do that because you know that you're breaking the law. And this is the problem with all these people that are handmaids to Tim Holmsath and Randy Erickson. They break the law and then they cover their tracks by deleting their material so they can't get caught. Or so they think. But they don't understand that I automatically record every personal message that comes into my computer. So even if you delete it, it's too late. Because the second you post it, I have it. Well, for someone that does not support violence, you threaten it. You know, but once I find out who you are and I take the appropriate legal action, you can explain yourself in court, either civil or criminal. Because I'm through fooling around with you people. If you're going to make these kind of threats that are in violation of the law, then you are going to pay the price for it. And all of a sudden now you're saying, oh, I didn't mean that. I'm not going to do that. Too late. I've already screenshotted it. You're threatening to go after someone who simply exercises her First Amendment rights, and that's wrong. And so you can argue it before the court, because arguing it before me is only going to earn you a screenshot and an appearance in court at some future date. Boy, you just love throwing the F-bomb. You ought to see all the F-bombs this person's throwing around. There's nothing to expose. But you go ahead and knock yourself out, because when it comes time to figure out who's the source of this material, I'll have the screenshots. This nonsense of going after people simply because they exercise their First Amendment rights is un-American. And you also seem to forget that what Tim Holmsath has said about me. Your failure to take that into consideration shows a lack of sleuthing ability on your part. So it's in your best interest to educate yourself before you wind up stepping into quicksand. Because I guarantee you, I'm going to do everything in my power to figure out who the hell you are and either go through the civil process or the criminal process to see that you are made accountable for your actions. And no matter what you whine about in these private messages you keep putting up, that is the way it's going to be. I told the same thing to the Traveler, which is another troll that seems to think they're a big know-it-all. I am through with this crap. And, I have started All right, I'm going to take this off. You know, I have had it with these trolls that make these threats, and in the process, oh, she deleted her account. Ha ha ha! I knew she was going to do that. Too late, but this is what she does. She makes these threats and then she runs away. Ooh, somebody in Ohio is going to get bad weather. Okay, but oh my God, I got all these comments. All right, let me catch up on my comment. Oh, I'll find her. Um, you know, and she knows it. And that's why she's trying to back out of it. But her problem is, I have the screenshots, and catching up on all my old messages here. Well, let me. Yep, got them. This I love the spin these people try to put on things. They don't realize that I have the means to keep records of this. She calls herself or himself or itself Travesty Challenge. Claims to be a all important sleuther. So, But Rebecca did nothing wrong. All Rebecca wanted to know is if there were going to be televised feeds of the trial. It's a legitimate question. But this travesty person decided, I'm going to go after Rebecca. I'm going to expose Rebecca. For what? Rebecca hasn't done anything wrong. All she does is chat on this website, doesn't do anything. So, but, this is the kind of people that are around the true crime social media. These nut jobs. And she just said, oops, I screwed up. So she deleted her account again. She shuts it off. Not doing it good because I've got all the screenshots. Because once you take the screenshot and the person deletes their material, the screenshot's there. It's proof of what they said. So, but she's made threats that over on Big Shoot, they're going to put up she or it is going to put up a video exposing me. So where are we going to go with that one? I don't know. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to look through and see if there's anything more to put up about the E-Clause murder that came across the Discovery table yesterday. Uh, I may put up a recorded video, which is going to be nothing more than law enforcement um, making video or audio recordings. Um, okay, I'm just okay. Yeah, that's understood. Um, you made a valid point. Now, um, get caught up on my chain of thought here. Uh, nope, I'm all right. Just got to make sure the clothing police will be looking. Yeah, that's generally it because this person really, I don't understand the obsession with this channel. There are 14, 15 people here talking about this case, and that's it. I mean, Miko Hayes has more broadcasting power than I do. He does a far better job. Oops, I didn't mean to put that one up. I'm just curious. Oh, God. Yeah, just looking at they're going after this movie. Uh, yeah, they're eating their own. Yeah, I like that. But, I'm gradually going to start going in a different direction as time goes on. And especially after this case is over with, because there's more interesting things to talk about out there than Tim Holmseth and his weirdos. Because this is, I don't know why this person had a burr up their ass about the Blanchard case, because this is basically a regular true crime case that people talk about. And the attention to this case is likely to increase as we get closer to the trial date. Because, now that um, things are pretty well resolved as far as getting the jury selection done and everything. But when I want to check, is I'm going to go into the court database and see if there's one item that I've been waiting. They've got one sealed item that I requested to be notified once this item is unsealed, and I want to check because I was under the impression they'd already done it. Okay. Come on up. All right. Somebody wanted to make a special appearance. Yeah. Amber decided to come in and say hi. She likes her back scratchies, don't you? Yeah. You like your back scratches. Amber, why don't you go and get me a glass of milk? Amber, I would like a glass of milk. or else you can go tell the milk getter to get me a glass of milk. How about you do that for me? Okay? Would you do that for me? All right. Go, go, go. Go be a milk carrier virgin. Come on. Good girl. That was lemonade I was drinking, by the way. I would like a glass of milk. So the milk genie. Here, Amber, you go. Get me a glass of milk. That would be nice. Be extraordinary if Amber were to do that. All right, back to the matter at hand. Nope, they still have not released that exhibit. I wonder what's taking so long. But so again, jury selection is scheduled for the 13th of November. And from there, we will see what happens. For some reason, I thought it was later in the month, but it's actually the 13th of November. So we got a little bit of time to go. And what's interesting is this means the trial is going to be going on through the 15th of October or November of 2023, which will be the anniversary of the death of Chris Hallett. It's one of those things. Yeah, Amber, go tell the go get my glass of milk, Amber. Oh, okay. I guess I'm going to be going off the air in a few minutes anyway, so I guess I'll get my own milk. But okay, so we're not doing much of anything uh, with the court, but they are going to rely on temporary insanity for uh, the cat is probably outdoors. The cat goes in and out of this house. Cats do things like that. And we try to keep the cat in the house, but she gets out anyway. Because that's where all the kittens came from. And she decided to go out and be a lady of the night. And she got pregnant. And so we had all these kitties, and eventually we were able to find the kitties places to go. So, and hopefully in August, we are going to make it so we aren't going to have any more kittens around. So we'll see how that works out. So, well, we're going to do something about that phone. Well, that's a cat for you. They get around. They got that cat scratch fever or whatever they call it. So, anyway. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. I'm glad for the company. Well, Levi, they're doing jury selection on the 13th of November. And I would hazard a guess, since these things and jury selection is a 1 day affair normally. So I would suspect that it's going to start on either in the afternoon of the 13th or the 14th, and it'll probably go on for about a week. Um, and so that is what things look like for now. But as with all trials, all it takes is one motion for a continuance um, to screw things up. It happened with the Cynthia Edsug situation and other trials, and go from there. So I would think that it's just going to be sometime in November, or the 13th of November will be jury selection, and then from there we'll get into the actual trial date. And let me just, I'm going to go back in there because I thought I had seen something about an actual trial. And of course not. But, I'm going to go with the 13th for now. And what I'll do is we get closer to the trial date, I'll be continuously checking with the court to see where we're at um, when it comes to um, having the actual trial and what's going to be allowed or not allowed in regards to media coverage. Um, every judge, every courthouse has their standard about what they're going to allow or not allow. So we're just going to have to wait and see. And so, with that, I would like to thank everybody for coming. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and share. And thank you for tuning in. I will try and have more during the week here of different things to talk about. There's a number of different topics to talk about. And um, we'll go from there. I might be on the air tomorrow night. I might be on the air Saturday night as well. And so, pay attention to the notification because there's a couple things that I want to bring up to talk about. And uh, that'll be coming up. And also, I will be doing stuff with the FAFO channel. So you might want to check that out when it starts going up. It's going to depend on my schedule because of what I need to do in order to do that particular segment. So when I do the FAFO, I will put up the link in the announcement in the FAFO Twitter account as well as my regular Twitter account because I'm going to try and build up a audience on the FAFO project as well. Until then, y'all have a good night, have a good weekend, and have a good one. Night all.